Hello, I am Wojciech Borobasz, CSRD software specialist at Bankspert. Let's discuss documentation and auditing requirements of CSRD. Assurance processes are critical for enhancing the reliability of ESG data, thereby building confidence in it. Robust assurance ensures that the information reported is trustworthy and accurate. Previously, companies had the discretion to decide the level of ESG assurance, ranging from no assurance to limited or full reasonable assurance, as the environment was mostly voluntary. However, CSRD now mandates specific levels of assurance, requiring large businesses to progress from limited to reasonable assurance in the medium term. Mandatory audits will start with 2027, with a transitional period provided until then. Assurance must be provided by an independent third party. The CSRD allows for assurance by an external provider other than the financial auditor. CSRD-aligned sustainability disclosures must secure limited assurance, in contrast to the reasonable assurance, which is similar to the well-known financial reporting auditing. Reasonable assurance lets you know the statements have been prepared in the right way, that they are reasonably stated and are materially correct. It includes detailed procedures like understanding the company's operations, assessing controls, and evaluating evidence. On the other hand, in limited assurance engagements, auditors perform fewer procedures and offer a lower level of confidence compared to reasonable assurance audits. These engagements are typically less extensive, and the assurance report will convey a lower degree of certainty. In any case, having your sustainability report audited can be very complex and time-consuming because the data structures and data collection methods are not yet as sophisticated as for financial reporting. This is why it requires more energy to collect and manage evidence, because you have to dig much deeper into the depth of your organization. Limited assurance may require more effort, as the assurance practitioner have not performed an audit of the information ever before. So, how does this look like in practice? For both mandatory and voluntary audits, thorough documentation of the entire process is essential. You need to detail each step taken, explain the rationale behind your decisions, describe how stakeholders were identified, and outline how credible proxies were chosen. Since there are no universal methodologies available, each entity must develop its own approach that aligns with the ESRS's expectations. For example, there is your upstream supply chain, the suppliers. But you don't want to ask all of your 100 suppliers because it's not necessarily possible or even practical to do so. Instead, you look at who can give you as much information as possible about your supply chain as a whole. Let's say you can cover 95% of that upstream value chain by asking your global procurement, or you ask your 4 biggest suppliers who source 95% of your raw materials. Based on that, you can say that these 4 suppliers or global procurement will be the credible proxies because they know most of the details and can identify the relevant impacts, risks, and opportunities. This should be justified and described in an auditable form as part of the methodology explanation. By the way, this 95% can safely be used as part of the ESRS process, although it was an industry best practice materiality threshold from earlier times. It still serves well as a good starting point, and it will be accepted by the market.